The Champions League final is where legends are made and history is written, but let's be honest, not all of them have been classics. Some finals had drama, goals, and unforgettable moments, while others felt like a slow death. So today we're ranking every Champions League final from the last 20 years from worst to best, based on drama, goals, and overall excitement. And before we start, I am trying to hit 15,000 subscribers before Cristiano Ronaldo reaches 1,000 goals, and everybody here knows that he is not slowing down. So if you do love football content, hit that subscribe button now. Let's get into it. At number 20, we've got the 2020 Champions League final between Bayern Munich and PSG. It was a Champions League final with no fans. Bayern were dominant all season, but the game itself was forgettable. Coleman's header won it, but aside from that, it lacked intensity. PSG had chances, but Neuer was unbeatable. At number 19 is the 2022 Champions League final between Real Madrid and Liverpool. It was a goalkeeping masterclass from Courtois rather than an exciting final. Liverpool controlled the game but couldn't get past Madrid's wall. Vinicius Jr.'s goal sealed the win, but overall this lacked real drama. At number 18 is the 2010 Champions League final between Inter Milan and Bayern Munich. It was a Mourinho defensive masterclass. Inter let Bayern have the ball, hit them on the counter, and killed the game off with the clinical Diego Milito brace. A perfect tactical performance, but not a thrilling final. At number 17 is the 2009 Champions League final between Barcelona and Manchester United. It was a battle of the giants, Messi, Ronaldo, Guardiola, Ferguson, but after Eto'o's early goal, United never looked like winning. Messi sealed it with a rare header, and Barcelona dominated the ball, making it a one-sided tactical masterclass rather than a spectacle. At number 16 is the 2024 Champions League final between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund outplayed Madrid in the first half but failed to score. Madrid did what they always do, strike late and win. Carvajal and Vinicius delivered the goals, but in terms of drama, it wasn't a classic. At number 15 is the 2015 Champions League final between Barcelona and Juventus. MSN was unstoppable. Juventus fought back after Morata's equalizer, but Suarez and Neymar finished the job. A solid final, but Barcelona was simply too good. At number 14 is the 2019 Champions League final between Liverpool and Tottenham. A penalty in the first 30 seconds just killed the suspense. Spurs never recovered, and while Liverpool controlled the game, it was never really in doubt. Not the most entertaining final. At number 13 is the 2018 Champions League final between Real Madrid and Liverpool. The Loris Karius disaster class. Bale scored one of the greatest UCL final goals with a bicycle kick, but Karius' mistakes made this more of a goalkeeping horror show than a competitive final. At number 12 is the 2007 Champions League final between AC Milan and Liverpool. It was a revenge match for Milan after 0-5. Inzaghi scored twice, Liverpool pulled one back, but Milan held on. A tense final, but not quite Istanbul. At number 11 is the 2016 Champions League final between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. It was a Madrid derby with a late equalizer from Carrasco. Atletico missed a golden chance to win and Madrid took it in penalties. A dramatic ending but a slow-paced game overall. At number 10, the 2021 Champions League final between Chelsea and Manchester City. It was a perfect tactical display from Chelsea. City struggled to break them down and Havertz's goal sealed it. Tense but lacked goals and chaos. At number 9 is the 2011 Champions League final between Barcelona and Manchester United. It was Messi at his absolute best. United started well, but Barcelona played them off the pitch. Beautiful football, but not a nail-biting final. At number 18 is the 2014 Champions League final between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. Atletico was seconds away from winning, but Ramos' 93rd minute header changed everything. Madrid destroyed them in extra time, making it one of the greatest comebacks ever. At number 7 is the 2017 Champions League final between Real Madrid and Juventus. It was a tight first half which ended 1-1, but Madrid tore Juventus apart in the second. Ronaldo was unstoppable and Madrid became the first team to defend their UCL title. At number 6 is the 2012 Champions League final between Chelsea and Bayern. A Drogba fairy tale. Bayern dominated, but Drogba's legendary header forced penalties. Cech's saves and Drogba's winning penalty made this one of the most emotional UCL finals ever. At number 5 is the 2013 Champions League final between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. The all-German final lived up to the hype. End-to-end football, Dortmund's pressing versus Bayern's experience. Robben's 89th minute winner was the perfect ending. At number 4 is the 2008 Champions League final between Manchester United and Chelsea. Rain, tension and drama. Ronaldo scored, Lampard equalized, and then John Terry slipped in the shootout. a legendary final with an unforgettable ending. At number 3 is the 2023 Champions League final between Manchester City and Inter Milan. Yes, it was only 1-0, but this was one of the most intense finals ever. Inter was inches away from equalizing twice. City survived a late scare to finally win their first UCL. At number 2 is the 2005 Champions League final between AC Milan and Liverpool. Istanbul, the greatest comeback in Champions League history. Milan was 3-0 up at halftime, but Liverpool roared back in 6 minutes. Dudek's heroics and penalties made it an immortal final. You're probably wondering what's gonna top that. Well, we're gonna break the rules a little bit because number 1 is the 1999 Champions League final between Manchester United and Bayern Munich. And I know it is technically out of this 20-year window, but it's the most insane ending in UCL history. Bayern was winning until the 91st minute, but then United scored twice in stoppage time to seal it. Pure drama. So that is my personal ranking. Do you agree? And what is your favorite Champions League final? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget, I am trying to hit 15,000 subscribers before Ronaldo reaches 1,000 goals, so you better get to subscribing.